Hello, boys and girls. How are we doing? Are we all good? It's Friday! How exciting. Oh. Feeling very muscular today. Either that or my t-shirt has shrunk slightly in the wash. I bought some new t-shirts. It's the first time it's been washed. I don't think I've got significantly fatter since the last time I wore it a week ago. Oh, it feels tight everywhere. I've ruined my new t-shirt. This is what I get for buying cheap t-shirts off of Giacomo. Goodness me, how are we doing? Oh, I've got an errant piece of hair. Are we all good? I've just noticed we've had another donation for the charity thing. We're up to £872.84 now, which is awesome. You want to know what that's all about? Exclamation mark charity. There's neither a wrestler nor Star Wars on my t-shirt. I mean, I've never seen Star Wars. There would never be Star Wars on my t-shirt. I just wanted to get some plain t-shirts. I'm nearly 40. I can't keep wearing pop culture t-shirts all my life. I've invested in some plain t-shirts as part of growing old gracefully. I figure if you've got once you've got the salt and pepper beard going on, and I was going to say I'm very close. I'm looking at it now. I'm already there, aren't I? Maybe not from a distance, and maybe not when it's cut a little bit shorter, but right now, once you've got that, you got to have plain t-shirts. And probably a few more tattoos. It's time for me to get a sleeve, I think. Midlife crisis. It's coming. Right. What were we doing? Playing some Football Manager. I remember. I'm older than you and I'm wearing a tee from Poorly Drawn Arsenal, who's a friend of the FM community. Well, maybe you're not as cool as I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a really cool guy. If I'm going to grow a man bun, I've got to wear plain shirts. It's all about, as you can see from behind me, proper minimalist. Going for that minimalist plain t-shirt look. It's so creased as well. I don't know what it is. My black gaming and nerdy t-shirts don't crease up like this after one wash and dry. But this feels like it's shrunk 2 sizes and really creased up. The collar's a mess. This is a poor quality piece of shirt. I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. Right, shall we do a YouTube intro so Chris doesn't yell at me? Cut the music! There you go. Love that. YouTube intro. Boys and girls, this is our year. There's no runaway super duper fantasy team at the top of the National League. It looks like it's quite a level playing field. And if no one else is going to run away with the league, I think maybe we probably should try to. So that's the plan. We're in great form. The season is still fairly early on. We're just going to plough through a load of games and hopefully, before too long, find ourselves top of the table. Because we don't want to go through the playoffs again. I really don't want to go through the playoffs again. And there we go, boys and girls. One take Kev strikes again. Music! There we go. Come on! No, this isn't the network save today. The network save was yesterday. This is Leamington. Ta-da! And this is the situation. We've only done one stream this week on Leamington because we had 2 network game streams. So I need to refamiliarize myself with what's going on. There was never supposed to be a stream today. Today I was supposed to be setting up my new desk. Part of it is here. You'd be delighted to know I have the desktop. The bit I already have, because I've got a desk with a desktop already. Haven't had any of the sit-stand mechanism, any of the legs, any of the wheels, any of the stuff that's actually different from what I've currently got. So I'm in the perfect situation where my hallway now has a massive desktop in it, which I can't do anything with because I don't have any of the rest of the desk. Not dead. I'll be dead because Anna's going to kill me because Andy's new adult social worker's coming around on Monday to meet him. And there's just going to be bits of desk in our hallway and there is nothing I can do about it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. As I said to her, adult social worker is going to be a little bit different from kiddie social worker, because with the kiddie social worker, there's always a fear that they could take him off us. If we do something bad, they could take him off us. The whole purpose of the adult social worker is to take him off us. So I don't think they're going to punish us by taking him off us. The whole point of him having an adult social worker is to find him somewhere to live and some kind of independent living thing. So yeah, that threat's gone. So we can treat him like dirt. That's my theory. Oh my word. Store it in the TNT van outside. That is long gone. I was a bit surprised. I was midway through recording a video. It's the video that's going to come out Wednesday or Thursday next week. The doorbell rings partway through, and that is the TNT guy. And it was like, this is the YouTube and Twitch crossover I never knew I needed. The TNT guy is here. He's here midway through a video. This is amazing. If only it had happened on stream, I could have turned the Ring camera on again and you could have watched it all unfold. It was sensational. But yeah, everything else is still in Belgium apparently, which is lovely. Shall we play some Football Manager? Yes, we shall. So we're 6th in the league. As you can see, we're in pretty good form. We didn't massively shake up the squad in the summer. You can see the dynamics and whatnot are already pretty good. You don't have to scroll to see my transfers, which is always a good thing. Often you have to, I mean, compared to previous season's transfers, you can see we have taken it much easier than we have done in the past. And several of these aren't even coming into play in the first team either. They're more just around to fill out the numbers, get us a few more bodies. The team that we're playing this year has a very familiar look about it to the team that we were playing last year, and I think it shows. We've started the season in pretty good form. We had a little bit of a consecutive draw situation in the last stream, but Shrewsbury have just been relegated from the Football League. Eastleigh went up as champions a couple of years ago and have also just been relegated. So picking up a couple of draws against them is actually not as bad as it felt at the time. We're still 2 points off the top of the table. I think if we can string a few wins together today, we could comfortably find ourselves top of the league. And that would be super duper, because what we've had in previous years is runaway teams just dominating things. You can see Port Vale did it last year. Notts County did it the year before. Fylde did it the year before that. Eastleigh, not so much. The year they went up, it was a little bit of a close. And in fact, all of the ones previous to that were kind of normal league tables. But because it's only 2 up, 2 down over the years, it's got much more clogged at the top of this league, to the point where you now have these crazy teams that are really overpowered for the league each year. And with none emerging, I'm kind of hoping we're that team this year. We've been in and around the promotion spots for 5 seasons. I'm hoping we can put a run of form together and it will turn out we're the team that's going to go and get 100 points. That's the plan, because then we get to avoid the playoffs. Getting automatically promoted and then relegated back next year is our future. No, we're going to get automatically promoted and then automatically promoted again. I am convinced, and I've been saying this for about 3 seasons, I am convinced that there's no quality difference between League 2 and the National League. That's why we've got this ridiculous logjam. I think we'll go up and then go up again, because that's what Notts County did. That seems to be the thing. You go up and then you go up again, because the promotion and relegation is a little bit broken and silly. Right, let's just fix the bench. That all looks fine. Right, we're playing Bromley. How good are Bromley? Bromley are 1 place above us in the league. So this is a big game. A win here, and we send a message to the rest of the league that we're going up automatically. Much like in real life, Kev, I'm a Notts County fan, and it's just so compact at the top of the National League. Yeah, it's the situation's got worse over the last 3 years in the save, to the point where you have, I mean, for 3 years in a row, we've got more than 90 points and not even finished second. To get 90 points and not even finish second, never mind top of the league, shows how ridiculous it's got over the last few years. But I'm hoping, at the moment, it doesn't look like there's any signs of that happening with anybody this year. So either we'll have a normal year where there's a few teams on sort of between 80 and 90 points at the top of the league and one of them gets promoted, in which case, if we're as good as we have been in previous years, that one will be us. Or maybe we'll be the one that gets 100 points. Either of those work for me. Hughes is in behind here. He's going to score a football goal. It's lovely old stuff. Beautiful. Oh, Editor Chris is in. Everybody wave to Editor Chris. Everyone wave, because now when he's editing the video together, he has to wave back. So let's all wave to Chris. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Wave back, Chris. There you go. He waved back. Oh, great. Why? Just, I like to mess with you. It's part of my shtick. I like to mess with Chris. It's my favourite thing. There you go. Everyone's saying hello. Considering the last stream. Yeah, I could tell. That one wasn't me deliberately messing with you. That was just the universe messing with me. There's nothing I could do about that. The last stream, I have no idea. I mean, if anyone's wondering why there was no video out at 11 o'clock today, utterly, completely reasonable. What would you do with the last stream? The last Leamington stream? How the hell would you turn that into a video? Exactly. So expect that one out early next week. Oh, dear. Cheese. Oh, Anna's come in to say cheese. Not because she's having her photo taken, but because we've got cheesies. This is not a sponsor. She's paid for these, but they're delicious. And I would like them to sponsor us. So if anyone from Cheesies is watching, I have tagged them in on Twitter, so they know the stream's happening. At Snack Cheesies, we have a PO box that accepts cheese-shaped parcels. So it's ! PO box. Feel free to send us cheese. And that is a request that only goes out to the people of Cheesies. I don't want any of you weirdos to send us cheese to our PO box. Just this kind of cheese. Please. It's really good. It's cheese that's been baked until crunchy. And they're nice. I'm going to eat some more cheese later in the stream. Oh, dear. We follow on YouTube. Haven't seen any Leamingtons since you left for Posh. Anyone free to fill me in on the last 5 or so seasons? I mean, there are videos on YouTube where you can be properly filled in if you really want to see how the story is unfolded. But the headline is we keep finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then losing the playoffs. So we're still in the National League. That's about it. We've just had no luck at all. But as you can see, we're quite a good team this year because Bromley are a promotion-chasing team as well, and we're absolutely smashing them. What's the name of the company? Cheesies. Their Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is Snack Cheesies, but they're just called Cheesies. They come in different cheese. I had some chili cheese ones for lunch. These are cheddar. There's goat cheese, Emmental, Gouda, Red Leicester. I'm not reading this. Anna just was taking them out the box and saying, look, we've got all these cheeses. Cheeses everywhere. I'm going to show, I've got to open them now. I've got to show you them. I've got to show you the cheese. Look, when you get in the bag, it's just little crunchy bits of cheese. Are you ready? Are you ready for some cheese ASMR? Wait for it. Crunchy cheese. Mind blown. Meanwhile, we conceded a goal. Unacceptable. Right, if someone could clip that up and send it to @SnackCheesies on Twitter, that would be much appreciated. They know where to find me. Lost focus again on my ridiculously expensive camera. Get out of the way. I figured out. If I get the microphone out of the way and look directly into the camera, it finds my face again. I need to speak to Matt. Matt will fix it for me. When we were choosing the camera and the lens, I did get the choice between do I want a sharper, quicker focus or a blurrier background. And because I'm an artsy hipster YouTube man, I wanted the blurrier background because I think it looks really cool. But it does drop the autofocus a little bit too often, so it might be time to blow another £500 on a camera lens that I'll never use again once I take it off the camera. It's very different to YouTube, Kev. This is Twitch, Kev. It's a different world here. YouTube is my job, Twitch is my hobby, and I'm in a very fortunate position. I get to do my hobby every afternoon. Just get to hang out and have fun. Crunchy cheese, standing desk. Where are we heading? Man bun is where we're heading. We talked about it the other day. I haven't mentioned it to Anna yet, but it's coming. Man bun in a tattoo sleeve. That's how I'm going to celebrate turning 40. It's not a midlife crisis. It's an evolution of my character. Man bun and tattoo sleeve. That's where we're going. Hughes is stupid fast. It's brilliant. Man bun and a sarong. I mean, I don't know that I'd suit a sarong. I have got my new walking treadmill that I'll be using with my standing desk because I've gone full wang. Never go full wang. Oh, he's gone full wang. Never mind. I'm going to get a hemp backpack. And perhaps it's time to commit to being vegan full time. He says, trying to score himself some free cheese. Anna's going to cut my man bun off. No, don't cut my man bun off. Oh, it's like complete gibberish and it's entertaining. Yeah, we should put that on the t-shirts as well. Question for Kev, who said I'm having a lovely time first, me or Dr. Benji? I have no idea. I don't think that's an exclusively me or Ben thing, is it? I think that's just a sentence that humans say in the English language, isn't it? Isn't it? You both say it a lot. We both spend too much time talking to each other. So it's probably an osmosis thing. When we both start calling trousers pants, that's when you know there's a real problem. Because we've been talking to Jack too much. Oh dear. I could just resign. I could resign, but I'm not going to resign now because we're going to win the league. Look at us. Look at us go. Oh, look at us go. I've undone my man bun. Hair flowing 3 in the wind. 3 in the wind? 3 in the wind. As you can tell, it's only relatively recently I've learned to say my THs and sometimes I still get them wrong. That was basically how I transitioned from being not a YouTuber to a YouTuber. As soon as I learned to say my THs properly, I thought, right, now finally I can talk in front of people. I'm not Kevsplaining. I can do some Kevsplaining. Kevsplaining's not got the same... What's the word I'm looking for? The words have escaped me. The same ring to it. That's what I'm trying to say. How many games are in the National League? There's 24 teams, isn't there? So it'll be a 46-game season, I think. Did Jack ever get back in the queue last night after hitting cancel? Yeah, he was playing the game towards the end of the stream, wasn't he? Or I was really tired towards the end of last night's stream. I don't really remember much of the last half hour or so of it. Did he cancel after he'd been sat there playing the game on stream? I don't even really remember. Right. Swap those two around. I love the fact we can swap Okoronkwo and Hughes match to match to make sure we've always got a fully fit, lightning quick guy up front. This is a lovely squad. I'm very happy with this squad. Explaining is more use of innuendos in a statement. I don't use innuendos. In your endo. Ba, 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 da, ba. Where's my drink? It's there. Cool. We have a beverage on hand. This is good. I feel giddy this afternoon. I've got Friday afternoon syndrome. We're going to a soft play place tonight. I'm picking up my new sunglasses on the way. Summer begins here. It's a sunny day outside. We're doing the weather early. I don't even care. Stop me. Try and stop me. We're doing the weather early. It's sunny outside. I'm feeling good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. How's the network game is today? Disastrous. Turns out qualifying for the Champions League Season 1 means Season 2 is an absolute nightmare where you have to play 20 games before the World Cup where everyone else is playing 9 or something ridiculous. I'm also the only one still in the Carabao Cup. I'm a victim of my own success in the network game. And I suspect I won't finish highest of the 4 of us this season. And that, boys and girls, is a disaster. Leaving Decore out was an unforced error. I mean, it wasn't really. Decore barely played last year. If we could go and have a look at the figures, if I could load up the network save and prove it. I feel that's unnecessary. Decore, I don't think he started a single game in Season 1. And towards the end of the season, he wasn't even coming off the bench. So the mistake was not selling Decore in the summer. Doorbell cam has the truck on. The truck left at 4:09 after the stream the other day. It was here for exactly 5 hours and delivered nothing. It came back this morning and gave me a desktop, but none of the rest of the desk. Cheese lumps. Oh, Oh, it's so cheesy. Beautiful. How long have we been in the National League? This is our 6th year in the National League. I think we did 3 years in the National League North as well. I'm not proud of myself. What flavour cheese? These are cheddar cheese. And they're really nice. Favourite chunky Kit Kat flavour? They do chunky Kit Kat flavours. I don't really eat chocolate bars. Believe it or not. I'm more of a savoury guy. If I'm going to have chocolate, I usually just have a mound of the stuff rather than a chocolate bar. I don't think I've ever had a Kit Kat Chunky that was any flavour other than Kit Kat Chunky flavour. Now, Japanese Kit Kats, now it's a different matter. As a man who frequents Comic-Con, I am very partial to a matcha Kit Kat from the Japanese Kit Kat stand. All the different flavour Kit Kats under the sun. I don't know why Kit Kats have so many different flavours in Japan and not here. It's madness. But yeah, matcha Kit Kats are great. Everyone say bye-bye to Chris. Bye, Chris. He's waving again, probably. Look at him wave. There we go. Yeah, it's a shame that that one didn't happen while a goal was going in. He can cut that one out. Curses. Look, Chris is doing a cartwheel in the corner of the room whilst dressed as a clown. What are you doing, Chris? Oh, dear. Come on, let's do a football. Theodros is in. What's my favourite bar that I've ever had? What, just in general? Toffee Crisp is the king of chocolate. We've talked about this before. Toffee Crisp is the best chocolate bar. Like I say, don't really have a lot of chocolate bars. Woo! How many types of biscuits are there? I don't know what that means. What are we doing here? We are a good football team. Double decker. I used to like double deckers as a kid. I've not had one as an adult, I don't think. I've had a miniature double decker in a celebrations box or... What box? I mean, my view of most chocolate bars now is based on their miniature version in Heroes or Celebrations. Toffee Crisp, how can you disrespect Boost like that? Boost tastes like dirt. It's like eating a bar of Red Bull. And bearing in mind, Red Bull's vile. I don't like energy drinks or energy foods, apparently. Penguins are pretty cool. Penguins are pretty sweet. Right. We're just doing all sorts of shuffling here to try and keep people fit. Red Bull, you mean the facilitator for drinking Jaeger? Here's a confession. I've never had Jaeger in my life. I don't think it was a thing before I stopped drinking. I'm that old, and it's been that long since I've drunk alcohol. I don't think Jaeger was cool then. You're not missing out. I had, what's the aniseedy one that you set fire to? I had that a couple of times in my youth. Sambuca, is that what that's called? Is that roughly equivalent? That was disgusting. Jaeger tastes like medicine. I mean, to my mouth, most alcohol tastes like medicine. It's why I don't drink it. Combination of me not really liking it and it making my face go red and hurt. That is quite the performance from Tyler Goodrum. Occasionally people question why we keep him at the club. And then he goes and does a match like that. 2 goals, 2 assists, a 10 out of 10, 7 key passes. He is the king of Leamington. What a man. If he's not on the favoured personnel list, they're doing it wrong. Where is that? I'm an icon. As is Ryan Colvin. I mean, I guess he was here 5 years. That is a great name. Morton Titterton. I wish I could meet Morton Titterton. Andy Smith, Cole Murphy. What's Cole Murphy up to now? His contract's still got 3 years to run. Ridiculous. But yeah, Tyler Goodrum should be on the favoured personnel list at least. He's a hero. I have a new gen called Tashan Farquharson. It's a great name. I do like Sambuca, but I'm 35 and need to grow up. Yeah. I do remember Goldschlager. Yeah. That was when I was like a teenager. In pubs, that was the thing that you had. And I can't... The ridiculous way that you'd convince your mate, or my mates would convince me to try it. Kev, you've got to try this. It's a new shot. I don't like shots. Yeah, but this one's got little pieces of gold in it that will cut your throat slightly so the alcohol goes straight into your bloodstream. None of that sounds like something I want to do. How is any of that a positive? I don't like being drunk. I certainly don't want my throat being cut. What is happening? Iconify, thank you very much for the sub. Kids are so dumb. Don't want your throat cut on a night out. You need to let your hair down more. I know. Well, once I've got my man bun, I'll be able to. Who is Salif Diarra? I don't even know who this guy is. Came for our youth team, apparently. Yes, he can go out on loan. I only have Guinness, that's it. Guinness is one of those things that I used to tell myself I liked the taste of. I'm not sure I ever did. That was one of the things I would drink. Even when I drank alcohol, I didn't drink a lot. There wasn't much I liked. I never really liked wine. Never really liked spirits. But I would drink a Guinness occasionally and be able to get it down. But even now, I mean, I'm now old enough and don't care about peer pressure. So I'm now quite happy to say I'd much rather have a Dr. Pepper than a Guinness. Your lucky day, my drinks cupboard is getting soft drinks added, iron brew and some random bubblegum fizzy drinks, so you're covered in my house. Awesome. I'm unsubscribing if you insult Guinness. I'm not insulting Guinness. Like I said, I used to try with Guinness. Guinness is one of the few that I could get down. But then I just stopped trying because I realised I didn't like being drunk. It's too easy for me to get giddy when I'm not drunk. Can you imagine me drunk? We're top of the league. We're top of the league! Hoping Anna can hear me. Oh, cheese. Crunchy cheese. What will they think of next? Beautiful. Only takes an egg to get me giddy. Exactly. I mean, my mum never used to let me have soft drinks as a kid, like fizzy drinks, because I would get too hyperactive. Stands to reason I would grow up and not be able to cope with having alcohol. I think, can I do, I'm not sure what that means. An update as to what's gone on. Got up with the first and second replay on LOLLUJO 2. I mean, it's been a while. We're a good few seasons further on than that now, I should think. The general gist, if you want the really, really quick version, we're still in the National League because we've not had any luck. We keep finishing top 3. We keep getting 90 plus points. We keep losing in the playoffs. So we've decided this year we're going up automatically. Oh my word. Did you know that Iron Brew's banned in the States for that reason? What, it makes you too hyperactive? Wow. I can't see Iron Brew being worse for that than like Monster or Red Bull. Good question, Kev. What's the wage budget you're on? The budget is 24k a week. We're spending 26 because budgets are for nerds. Colouring in it is linked to hyperactivity. Really? Well, there you go. They have Mountain Dew in the States and it's full of sugar. Yeah, Mountain Dew's just lemonade, isn't it? Is Mountain Dew lemonade? Did the desk arrive? No, I've got the desktop, but not any of the rest of it. The ridiculous thing is, one of the options I had was just buying new legs and a standing mechanism for my current desk. And I decided to just buy the whole thing. It would be easier. Because then I could keep this desk in storage, and when we move house, have two desks in my much bigger office that I'll be getting. I just wish I'd just got the mechanism. So now I have 2 desktops and no sit-stand mechanism. We're moving. At some point we'll be moving, yeah. I don't know when exactly. Our lease on this place runs out in October. We might stay for a bit beyond that. We might move before then. We're actively looking. For a reason I'm back. What time did the van leave? 4:09. If we'd have streamed for 10 more minutes, we'd have seen it leave. I did tweet the video of it leaving if you want to see it leaving as it happened. It was an exciting moment. I had to live through it all on my own. None of you lot were here to watch it happen. I can only assume what actually happened was he was watching the stream. He'd bet all his channel points on the van still being there at 4 o'clock and just rinsed you all of channel points. And then drove off laughing. The current desk. No, the current desk is an IKEA desk. But IKEA do the sit-stand mechanism. So I was just going to buy the IKEA sit-stand mechanism. But then someone said, no, you got to get a fully desk. They're much better. I hope they are, after all this. I really hope they are. I just noticed Anna's appeared in the chat. Someone at my old work would eat cereal with iron brew. What a psychopath. I hope they were a prisoner, not one of the wardens. Shouldn't the driver have watched Lonely's Legend before driving off? You would think. Sloppy from them. Rob, thank you for the sub. Got my nut back. 14 months. Lovely stuff. That's an elephant's gestation period, isn't it? 14 months. Rob, that's what you're going to be known as for the rest of the month. Congratulations. Welcome back to the fold. Right. We haven't done the bench ourselves today. This is the first time in ages I've left the bench to the games devices, and it's ballsed it up massively. I've never had proper iron brew. We've had this conversation on stream before, and I went out and got some, but then got yelled at because I got iron brew sugar-free, whatever it is. I mean, I only drink sugar-free soft drinks. I don't drink any soft drinks at all now, really. But when I did, I would have Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper Zero, that kind of thing. So I always get the sugar-free drinks. So I got sugar-free iron brew and was told apparently I was doing it wrong. But I think they're just the same people who erroneously claim that red Coke is better than Diet Coke, and it's obviously not. Sugary drinks are horrible. That is doing it wrong. But I value my teeth. I don't really want to cover my teeth in sugary water. That doesn't taste very nice. Iron Brew Extra is closer to traditional Iron Brew and is sugar-free. Red Coke is better than Diet Coke. You're a maniac. Red Coke's horrible. And it makes me drink it if I'm poorly. It does make me feel better, but it tastes horrible while I'm doing it. Borum would have gone back above us again. Cheese! Lovely. Hoax FM is in. Everybody wave. We're just waving at everyone today. This might be our new thing. I'm going to wave at everybody. Pepsi Max is better than Diet Coke. I mean, that's not true, is it? They're the ramblings of a maniac. Not that I can drink either of them anymore, and I don't like caffeine-free Coke, so I just don't drink Coke anymore. I don't think I've had a cola this year. Might not be true. Have we been out anywhere to have food where I might have had a cola, Anna? If you're still there, have I had any cola this year? I don't think I have. Bearing in mind, I used to live on the stuff. Am I dropping frames? Nope, not dropped a single frame. Did I ever have Coca-Cola ham? I made a Coca-Cola ham at Christmas. I'm not going to give up my Coca-Cola ham just because I can't drink Coca-Cola. It's Kev pitching for a Diet Coke brand deal. It would be just my luck if after all these years of drinking Diet Coke on stream and telling people it was the greatest beverage in the world, 6 months after I give the stuff up, they say, hey, here, Kev, have a lifetime supply of this thing you can't drink. So no, I don't want a Diet Coke brand deal. They could do one. Where were you years ago when I needed you? I'm down to 1 super strong coffee and 4 litres of water a day, which replaced 4 super strong coffees. Nice. I'm down to probably 3 coffees a day as my only caffeinated drinks, which is still more than the cardiologist wanted me to have, but I have to balance that with the fact that, as we saw the other week, I apparently don't sleep. So I need to be able to stay awake during the day. So I need to have some coffee. Oh, no, other way around. I did get a letter from the hospital, exciting medical news, saying I'm now on the waiting list for a CPAP machine, and it'll be 8 to 12 weeks before I get one. So you're not going to see me on oxygen for a little while. I'm so looking forward to seeing Kev on oxygen. It's going to be amazing. That first oxygen stream. Woo! You are not ready for the first oxygen stream. Am I still playing Pokemon? I've not played it for a couple of days. I'm pretty much done. I'm not really interested in catching all the Pokemon. I've done the story and the story after the story. I'm not going to go around and catch everything. Hope they don't give me helium by mistake. Feels like surviving 8 to 12 weeks without oxygen. Well, I've survived nearly 40 years without it. Apparently, according to the sleep study I did, for almost half the night I'm not breathing. So clearly I can overachieve on half the oxygen. Imagine what I'll be like fully oxygenated. How much will I pay for it? As far as I'm aware, nothing. It's on the NHS. I would happily pay for it to hurry it along. Anna's asking what time we're going out, but she's now not watching the stream. Well, how am I supposed to answer then? I'm just texting Anna now. We're going about 4:30, 4:45-ish. Got to watch Non-League Legend. And then I get to go and get my sunglasses. Cheese. Will the oxygen stream be like taking gas and air when women are giving birth? That stuff is amazing. I have experience with gas and air when I've had my colonoscopies. such a weird sensation because the top half of me is having a lovely time. Bottom half of me, it's like things out of a horror movie. We have first standing desk, first oxygen streams to look forward to. I know. I mean, there will be a stream where I just do the whole stream standing up, I'm sure. I'm delighted. I've got to do something with the shelf above this one. So I've got these shelves very carefully curated to look cool with wrestlers and comic books on. The one above is basically a junk shelf because it's never on camera. So I've got to sort that out and make it look pretty. But you will be able to see the second YouTube plaque because at the moment you've got the one there. There's another one like there that you can't see, but when the desk is standing, you'll be able to see it. Very exciting. Apart from the oxygen machine, there'll also be some mouthpiece that keeps your throat open while sleeping. Nice. I did go to the doctors yesterday because they were trying to decide yesterday whether I was allowed to carry on driving in the meantime. They decided I can because I don't get the sleepiness from it. But they did have a look in my mouth and said, oh, you do have quite large tonsils, don't you? I get that a lot. But apparently they're not large enough to be the problem. Me and my oversized tonsils at it again. Kevy big tonsils, that's what they call me. Awesome Wonder Kid due in March. Congratulations, Ryan. Presumably will be a Spanish national. Are you still at Barcelona? Ooh. Come on, let's do a football. And that's a football. That's how commentary should be on the radio. I'd like that. I'll just put a meeting in my calendar for 4 p.m. on a Friday. I just wouldn't go. Is it a fancy modern style virtual meeting or an old school having to be there in person meeting? So what are we, 2022? I imagine you're still at Apollon, actually, rather than at Barcelona, so your kid's going to be a Greek national. It's on Zoom, so I'm having a coffee. That's for legal reasons. Definitely not Scotch. Nice. We are top of the league. I said this was the goal for today's script stream, and here we are. Top of the actual league. Who would have thought it? Look how far we've come. Any tips on getting students to respect you? Be awesome. That's what I did. Just wandered in there being awesome. They couldn't help but respect me because of how great I am. That's all you need. An aura of awesomeness. Command the room. Whip out all the cool lingo. I mean, the best thing, and it's, you have to be the kind of person who's capable of doing it in the first place, but I would just out talk them. So if they were being wangs, I'd just embarrass them in front of their mates. Then they'd stop being wangs. And then the respect comes with it. Or at least if it's not respect, it's silence. And I would argue they're as useful as each other. They don't need to respect me, they just need to shut up. They just need to shut up and stop disrupting my lesson. I don't care if they respect me or not. Just shut your face. Do I miss teaching? No. I get to sit in my house playing Football Manager. What is there to miss? If anyone ever figures out that this isn't a real job and I stop getting paid, then teaching is an awesome job that I'd probably go back to. But, yeah, compared to this, no. Is there a way to block a Twitch streamer from even showing up on your recommended? I don't know. Trying to block Ben. I get that. I would too. What does the board want me to do this season? They are looking for us to, as a minimum, get into the playoffs, which is ridiculous because we've done that every year. And last year they put us under all that pressure saying we must go up as champions and then didn't sack me when we didn't. So this year they've gone back up to, oh, well, if you can just finish in the playoffs then. We've got our strikers the wrong way around here. Just need to yoink them. Sorted. How was Jack after last night? I've not spoken to him this morning. You got any old PCs kicking about? No, afraid not. They all get passed down the family recycling route. So when I'm done with them, they go to Anna. When she's done with them, they go to one of the kids. And there's 3 of them. So by the time they're done with them, they're not worth anything. They're next to useless. They're on fire. I work with 16 plus. They show no respect to me at all. I used to love working with the older ones. That's my PGCE was in 14 to 19 education. I guess without getting too actually helpful, because that's far too off brand, just got to show them you know your stuff and treat them as equals. If they're 16 plus, they're adults. Treat them like adults. Treat them like adults, but make it clear that you're smarter than they are. And they need you to get what they want. What they want is to pass the class. They need you for that. You can either work with them, or they can either work with you or against you. Talk to them like humans. Either you work with me and you get a good grade, or you work against me and you fail. I don't care either way. Tell them that. And then they'll either respect you or fail. Depends how much you care. I was always ever mind if the kids didn't care, I didn't care. I wasn't going to drag kids who didn't care through exams. But again, that was probably my luxury of teaching a subject that was optional. I wouldn't be able to get away with that attitude if I was a maths teacher or an English teacher. But as a computer science teacher, I could very much stand there and say, look, if you don't want to be here, go and do geography. No one's making you do this. If you want to do this subject, try, or I'm going to make you go and do RE instead. Oh, there you go. Someone's English teacher did exactly the same thing, so perhaps I could get away with it. All right. Substitution ahoy. Give some advice to first year uni students. I wasn't going on at them if they didn't turn out. They're adults, make their own choices. Yeah, exactly. I'm watching you instead of Benji because besides the fact you're much better looking, facts, your music is much more tolerable. Also facts. Sounds like you're very wise. What was I teaching in computer science? Mostly programming. there was 3 of us in the department, so I tended to do a lot of the programming stuff because that was what I did a lot of in my degree. I didn't really do much of the hardware stuff. The other teachers did that, so I was mainly just doing programming.
Haven't been here for a couple of weeks.
And steered clear of networking as much as possible. Even when I was at uni, networking bored me. Quick ring cam. Why? What's going on the ring cam? Is he back? Anna's there telling me to get on the ring cam. I'm not even logged in. What's going on? I need more information. Ah! What's happening? This better be good. Nothing. Can't even log in. She's probably already on it, which means I can't see it. I don't think we can both view it at the same time. It's gone. Well, I would never have seen it anyway. It's not letting me see it because you're already looking at it. What was it? What did I miss? I need to know what we all missed. Anna, we need information. What did we miss? If it was another TNT truck, I'm devastated. Here she comes.
It was an orange truck.
An orange truck? Was it a TNT truck? If you need me to ever go on Ring, you have to come off it. We can't both be on it at the same time. Good.
I can watch 30 seconds.
Yeah, you need a new phone. You do. Right. What are we doing? Dave, you can't go under there. We talked about this before. This side. This side. There we go. Goodness me. Oh, Wooster's ill. Look at that form. This is beautiful. Jamar Hughes was worth the gamble in the summer, wasn't he? That seems to be a signing that's worked out. Hey, Dave, do you want some crunchy cheese? Good, isn't it? Oh, it's making me burp. Crunchy cheese let a little wind out. A Friday afternoon wind. We've got 6 weeks when they start September to get them kicked out of college if you think they wouldn't pass the course. We'll use that 6 weeks to get them to respect you, I guess. It really depends on what you're teaching and what your teaching style is. You just have to be yourself, I guess. Talk to more experienced colleagues. If they're no help, find someone who is. Not some guy on Twitch who hasn't done it for 5 years. He doesn't really know anymore. Come on, let's do a football. I'm a teacher, decided to just do relief work, do a master's in something completely different. Workload is too much being a full-time teacher. Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. I loved being in the classroom, hated all the other nonsense around it. You're not having any more, these are mine. He heard me crunch, you know, he's straight up. What about the insane holiday breaks you get as well? I mean, that was the reason I got into teaching. I know some teachers get a bit sensitive about that, but you do get 12 weeks holiday a year. That is awesome. And they do coincide with the school holidays, believe it or not. So I became a teacher after I got divorced. I had joint custody of my kids. So when my kids were of an age when I needed to be there during the school holidays, it was the perfect job for me. As a single parent, It was perfect. That's basically why I did it. I didn't go to university with a view to becoming a teacher. I thought I was going to become a gazillionaire programmer and make an app and be a gazillionaire. But then partway through my degree, got divorced, plans changed, became a teacher, got to be around with my kids when they needed me to be there. So yeah, don't let teachers tell you they don't get the holidays. They do. When you're starting off as a teacher, you can spend a lot of that time planning and stuff. I think only if you're disorganized or if you don't have clear boundaries. I always had very clear work-life boundaries when I was teaching. I never brought any work home with me. Never worked weekends or into the evenings or in the holidays. I mean, I started this YouTube channel when I was 3 years into teaching. I was only a full-time teacher for 4 years. So I would come home and do this. To make your lessons as good as possible, it will take all your time. If you don't care as much, I'm sure you can have more holiday time. I disagree with that. My lessons were great. I was always outstanding in my observations. Got promoted to head of faculty. I was a good teacher. Didn't spend any of my free time doing it though. I mean, it helps again that I was in a very specialist subject that I was very good at. So I didn't need to micro plan my lessons. Like if I was teaching how to do a specific piece of programming, more often than not, it was enough to write down in my book, my little planning book, show them how to do a loop. And I'd just show them how to do a loop and we'd workshop doing loops. I wouldn't need an in-depth lesson plan on loops. Did I start with FM? Or was it? Yeah, start with FM. Yeah. It's been... This is year 7, I think. As in, I'm not a year 7 student while we're talking about schools. This is my 7th year of content creation. I did the vlog for like 3 years in the middle somewhere. 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it started with Football Manager and now it's pretty much exclusively Football Manager. That was always what I wanted it to be. Do you not have planning scrutinies or other teachers using your plans? I wrote the lesson plans for the department. I'd just do it in my free periods. I also had automated marking systems set up using mail merge and various macros. So rather than doing in-depth marking, I would check what they'd done and then use drop-down lists and macros to populate marking sheets that I could just then hand them back. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Yeah, I had to do cover sometimes. Yeah, because computer scientist, exactly. That helped, I think, for sure. But, oh yeah, you couldn't do it. I am very aware that I was able to do it the way I did it because I was teaching 14 to 19-year-old computer scientists. So, by definition, it was only the smarter kids usually that were in my lessons. Because we wouldn't let the kids who weren't going to pass it on to computer science. We'd push them down the ICT route. And I didn't teach a lot of ICT. So I'd generally be taking the smarter kids doing programming. What's my long-term subscriber goal on YouTube? I don't really have one. Just as many as possible, please. It's not. It's nice to dream that maybe one day 1 million would be possible, but it's taken me 7 years to get to what 120, 125, whatever it is at the moment. So I suspect 1 million's probably not going to happen. 500,000 might. It's difficult to know how long it's going to keep going for. They could stop making the game next year, and then the channel stops there. Or the game could explode, and all of a sudden we've all got 5 million subscribers, and we're bigger than the FIFA guys. Who knows? During my teacher training, I'd have to do lesson plans, but now I've finished teacher training, I don't do lesson plans. Yeah, I was the same. Any other channels you'd like to create but just don't have time outside of my current channels? Nah, not really. I need to come up with, if I had an idea, I'd do something with what was the vlog channel. There's been one video on that this year. Maybe one day I'd quite like to do something around personal finance, entrepreneurship, that kind of thing. But I don't think I'm enough of an expert to do that yet. Quite a few Minecraft guys are over 1 million, so FM could get there. Minecraft's a much bigger game than FM, though. SDA, thank you for the sub. I missed the wrestling channel. Yeah. I've learned very quickly a wrestling channel is not something I can do on my own. That's why the bigger wrestling channels have got 5 or 6 people working for them. There's just too much to do. You should vlog putting the desk up. A few people have said that to me. My argument against doing that is why? Just adds extra work to putting the desk together. And the channel's so dead that it won't get views anyway. When I eventually do something on the channel again, it'll be something consistent. And we'll build it back up in the algorithm. Who's my captain currently? Alfie Chang is captain. Alfie Chang still plays every week, doesn't he? They tried to change the captain to this guy in the summer. Maybe we will make Smith captain. Because I guess he's a more consistent starter. They both rotate a fair bit. I don't think... Do we want to change? Nick Little, what do you know about this? You've got 15 for motivating. Okay, fair enough then. If that ruins the season, I'm going to be furious. That guy's getting sacked. Remember the name of that coach. Nick Little. If we lose our next game, it's on him. Five for man management, though. Yeah. We don't need to look at all the attributes. We've not gone nerd. Am I going back to Minecraft in the summer? I doubt it. I normally play Minecraft every couple of years for a bit. It's impossible to know. The way my brain works, I drop it as quickly as I pick it up again, and vice versa. So I have no idea when I'll next play Minecraft. When I do, I know I'll play it every day for a couple of months. And then there'll be a day when I don't play it, and then I won't touch it again for 2 years. It's just how it works. It's how I am with all things, really. The only constant is Football Manager. Everything else comes in waves. Do I do my training? No. No, that's what my assistant manager's for. That's not an ideal start to this game because Harrogate are one of our title rivals. Plus, I've not even got anywhere to upload Minecraft now if I decided to do some Minecraft content. Because LOLLUJO 2 is for the stream replays and highlights and things. The idea is for LOLLUJO 2 to be Chris's channel going forward. And as our relationship develops, have him take on more and more responsibility for it. Chris, as in editor Chris. LOLLUJO 2 is Chris's channel now. Well, at the moment, it's not really, because at the moment, all he's doing, he'll love this. Hi, Chris. All he's doing is editing the videos. Long term, I'd like to just give him the keys to the channel. So, right, you're in charge of scheduling, thumbnails, SEO, everything. But that kind of responsibility comes with more money. So at the moment, we need to build up to that slowly. And then every time he gets a pay rise, I'll give him more jobs to do. Till we get to the point where he's basically running the channel and keeping the money from the channel, probably. I mean, if we can get that channel to the point where it's self-sufficient and paying entirely for Chris, I don't make any money from it, but at the same time, it's used to then promote my other channels. So it pushes people back in the direction of the stream. That's the thinking. How am I finding Arceus? Really enjoyed it. Pretty much done with it now, but really enjoyed it. He has enough money to feed his kids. Why does he need more money? Everyone always needs more money. Have I set up a pension scheme for Chris? I have not. All in good time. Any update on the standing desk? Not really. It's not here. It's the main update. What did I think of the Martinelli sending off? I've not seen it back properly. Just from watching it at the time, it looked like he was just a silly boy who got himself sent off by being a silly boy. If there's any more to it than that, I wasn't paying enough attention. Because we were doing the network game at the time. I didn't really have any arguments with him getting sent off. It was a second yellow, wasn't it? Certainly deserved a yellow. You see my name in chat. Oh, we're talking about you. Don't you worry. Look who's turned up. You said his name 3 times. They're all applying for your job. Unusual sending off, but not undeserved. Yeah, it was a second yellow, wasn't it? Two yellows in the same passage of play is a little unusual. Yeah, but they were both deserving of yellows, weren't they? Yeah, they're trying to get me to set you up a pension, Chris. I explained we're not quite at that stage yet. Do I think Darby will stay up? I hope not. Both bookable offences don't get the first. Yeah, completely agree. He was just a silly boy. Does he change the second incident if he knows he's about to be booked? Who cares? He shouldn't have done it. Could say if he knew he was going to get yellow for the first one, he wouldn't have done it. Then he shouldn't have done it, full stop. Seems pretty cut and dry to me. Dental plan. I don't even have a dental plan. Not doing you dental before I've got dental. I don't have a pension. Yeah, hang on. That's an excellent argument for the pension thing. Right, let's keep winning football matches. They'll have a state pension. Yeah, but that's like three quid a year, isn't it? Or something ridiculous. There probably won't even be a state pension by the time I retire. That whole system's long since been unsustainable. They just need a government to come along who have got no chance of getting re-elected anyway, to take the plunge on it and say, well, if we're going down, we may as well go down swinging and just withdraw the state pension. Hashtag no politics. I know. That isn't even politics. That was discussed as part of my business studies GCSE. Looking at the projections for sustainability of the state pension and an aging population, there comes a point where it's just financially unviable. Dan, thank you very much for the gifted sub. I've been at Leamington since 2021. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it's not going so well. I'll never be able to retire. I never want to retire. I love what I do. I don't want to retire. That's why I don't have a pension. I just have ISAs. I want to be able to take my money out when I want it and leave it in when I want it to. I don't want to have to... I don't want to not be able to touch it for the next 25 years and then have to take a chunk of it. And pensions just seem too restrictive for my lifestyle. Will I'll still be doing the stream show in 2046? Absolutely. Yeah. We're still top of the league, boys and girls. What a time to be alive. Join the stream again, isolating due to COVID, so this is keeping me occupied. Awesome. One fills up the ISA allowance, the tax back on pension contributions. Yeah, I mean, until this most recent year, that's never really been a consideration for me. This has been the first year I've ever maxed out an ISA, and I'm nearly 40. It took me a long time to get to the point where I can max out an ISA. And I did look into getting a pension, but I can't guarantee that I'll ever be in a position to max out an ISA again. So it just seemed like if I have a couple of years where I'm starting to do that consistently, then maybe. But for now, I just opened a general investment account to go alongside the ISA, which I get will be taxable, but I still would prefer the idea of having complete control over it. I think it's worth pointing out this is the first season in a while that nobody's run off with the league. That's literally in the intro to this stream, Chris. Thanks for watching. Noticed that last night that Tipple and the Norwich Savers are facing the game player. I got home just after the intro. I'll let you off them. We're going to be the team that runs away with it. 40 points after 17 games. We're well on course to break 100 points at the moment. We're going to be that team. There we go. Have you considered going into the Halifax mortgage calculator right move combo over renting? How do you mean? I don't know why we ended up using Halifax mortgage calculator. I imagine it was just the first non-league to legend. I probably just Googled mortgage calculator and that was the one that came up. And then it became a thing. We always have to use Halifax mortgage calculator. Exactly. We can't lose in the playoffs if we win the league. That's exactly my theory. We invented that theory this year. Other mortgage calculators are available. One year I'll get that Halifax sponsorship, and that'll be when my life as a content creator is complete. At that point, talking of retirement, at that point I can retire. If I get the Halifax sponsorship on episode 1 of Non-League to Legend one year, then we're done. What you said, you and Anna rent. Property investment can be another investment. We do rent. We're looking to buy a house this year. I wouldn't consider it an investment. It's just some way to live, isn't it? For me, an investment is for me to consider something an investment, I need to be able to get at it and spend it at some point. You can't spend a house. And with house prices always going up, yeah, the value of your house goes up. So theoretically, you end up with this pile of equity, but you still need it to pay for a house for the rest of your life, even if it's just dead money sat within the house. It's still money you can't access because you still need somewhere to live, unless you're going to get somewhere in the future and downsize to a smaller house, which I don't see us doing. Then it's still just... it's rent in a different system, isn't it? Can't buy my dinner when I'm 70 with house. I'm going to pay for this with my bathroom taps. When your income ceases at retirement, having no rent to pay is the investment. If you're retired and renting. But there's no reason why I would need to be retired and renting. Renting is much cheaper than buying, certainly in my area. So I can invest more each month, which over 20, 30 years of compounding will be worth more than the whole house deal would be. So I could just buy a house outright when I retire, I guess. That would be the theory. We will buy a house. But like I say, I wouldn't ever see it as an investment. Biggest benefit for me is that my mortgage is like half the rent for a similar place. I guess it depends on your area. We pay £850 a month rent on this house. The house we're looking to buy is basically identical and is on the market for 310,000. So, I mean, let's do the maths together, shall we? To Halifax. They do a monthly spend calculator on here, don't they? So there must be a one that tells you how much it would cost. Get an idea, find out how much a mortgage could cost. So the property's 310,000. What's 15% of that? Or let's say 10%, just to keep the maths easy. So if we put a £31,000 deposit down over 25 years, because I'm nearly 40, I wouldn't do it over 30. So we're looking at 11 to 12 to £1,300 a month. So that's what, minimum 350, as much as £500 a month more than it costs us to rent. So flip that around another way. If we look at, this is getting very nerdy and financy now, but if we put that, let's say £400 a month into and compound that over the next 25 years. So, oh no, we don't want a mortgage. We want compounding. No, we don't want a mortgage version. Compound interest calculator. So if we start with an initial balance of 0, let's say at a return of 8% on the stock market over 25 years, and if we're paying £400 a month in, which is what we're saving by renting, after 25 years, we've got £380,000 sat there. That's what I mean about it not always being completely cut and dry. That's why we're not really in a rush to buy somewhere, but we will. We will buy somewhere because we want to buy somewhere, but I wouldn't consider it an investment because in my mind, by buying, I'm losing out on 380 grand that I would have otherwise by investing. So it's not only costing me 310,000 to buy the house, it's costing me another 380,000 in lost investment. So in 25 years time, for it to be the right decision to have done, especially when you consider the amount of rent, the amount of interest that you pay in that time as well. I mean, you're probably paying another £200,000 interest. So that house in 25 years would need to be worth nearly £1 million for it to have been the right financial decision to do, rather than renting. Would a £300,000 house be worth £1 million in 25 years? Maybe. But it's not quite as cut and dry. I didn't understand any of that, but now I'm regretting the decision to have bought my house. I mean, it's all comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. I just try and encourage people not to view their house as an investment. It's a place to live. View investments differently. I see too many people. This is my life as a financial advisor from the past coming out. I see too many people who, because they own a house, they think they've got an investment as well. They don't have any savings, any investments. They just own a house. And I think that means everything's okay, when you got to realize you need money to live on as well. What would I invest in? I usually just invest in low cost index trackers. %8 annuals are very generous on the compound interest calculator. For 2008 stock market appreciation was, I mean, if you look at the average for the S&P 500 since it's existed, it's like 10.5% annual return. So I'd say 8% is fair. It'd be a cold day in hell that you'd rent the same house for 700 if you have £1,000 mortgage. Not sure what you mean. But that's the other thing, because rents are cheaper than buying around here. The other thing, of course, is if we buy it and then decide we want to move after 2 years, we're then forced into selling it because renting it out wouldn't be an option. Whereas I hate selling stuff. I don't sell investments because my view is you don't sell until you need the money for something. I don't trade or anything like that. And when we buy a house, I would never plan to sell the house. The plan would be to own the house forever. Even if we move, just rent it out and buy another one. Non-lead to legend style. But you can't do that if rent is less than the mortgage would be. Your house is an investment. See, it's that sentence starting with your house is an investment. I'm just not having it. It's not. It's a cost. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Do I invest in crypto? I've got a little bit in crypto. I don't really trust it, but at the same time, FOMO. So I have roughly 5% of my portfolios in crypto. And I'm comfortable with that amount. I don't want any more than that. Isn't there a thing where Warren Buffett outperformed professional traders just putting money into the S&P 500? Yeah, that's where 90% of my money is just in an S&P 500 tracker. Depends. If the rent is higher than the mortgage payments, it's an investment in a way. You get your money back at the end, or your kids. It's still not an investment. You can't spend it. I mean, and that's not me saying buying a house is bad. You just need to view it separately from your investments. If the only investment you have is your house, you haven't got any investments. You've got a place to live. Which is fine. Having a place to live is pretty useful. I recommend having a place to live. Would you recommend starting off with Rich Dad Poor Dad? I think Rich Dad Poor Dad really gets the fundamentals in. There's a really good one if you just want to get into investing. Oh, what's it called? It's J.L. Collins is the author, because I read his blog as well. What's his book called? The Simple Path to Wealth. That book is great. Would highly recommend that. The Purple Lurple, thank you for the sub. Spot on. My husband and I wish we could take advantage of the housing market here and sell our house where we live. Exactly. Therefore, it's not an investment. What do I make of Futium as a concept? I'm completely on the fence about it. I mean, disclosure up front, they did give me a club. So I have a Futium club, which I didn't pay for. They gave me it. I am completely... Oh, that's rubbish. I'm completely on the fence about it until I actually get to play the game. If it's a good game that has the NFT elements, then I'm interested. If the game is absolute trash and it's just a pyramid scheme wrapped up in a football bow, then I'm not interested. And at the moment, I don't know which of those it is because I've not played it. So I'm on the fence. Ask me again when it's actually properly playable and available. But yeah, I will be able to play it when the time comes because I've got a team. And you'll get an honest answer out of me because I'm not afraid of upsetting them. They can't take the team back. The only time it would be an investment would be if there was a boom in your area, you ended up selling the house for more than you paid for it. Yeah, but then where are you going to live? If you're just going to buy another house, that's still not an investment. That's still just paying somewhere to live in. I agree that buying my house is not an investment unless you buy, then move on. Yeah, if you've got a house that you don't live in that generates you an income because you're renting it out, then that's an investment. But paying for the place that you live in is not an investment. It's the latter, like most likely what a pyramid scheme wrapped in a football bow. I hope not, because the concept seems really clever. They sold it to me initially as it's Football Manager, but you own the teams and you own the players. So your team will produce youth players, which you can then either sign or sell on. And if you sell them on, it's real money. It's crypto. So like you can do a road to glory in it and basically get paid to play. And the concept of that intrigues me. I'm not entirely sure how it would work, because in order for some people to get paid, that means other people have to pay. The money doesn't just generate magically. I know enough about how the world works to know that it's not going to be an infinite money pit. So if some people are getting rich doing it, there's some people like going skint playing it. But if everyone's aware of that going in, then it's just like, I mean, I used to play a lot of online poker. That's the same principle. There are people who win at it. There are people who lose at it. You don't win unless other people are losing. So if it's basically monetized Football Manager, then great. as long as people are fully aware of it going in. But if it's literally just a typical NFT hype train, Emperor's New Clothes, get rich scheme, pyramid nonsense, then I'm out straight away. Seems very cool idea, but I'm not sure until it exists. Exactly my response. And they said, well, have a team and try it out. And I said, fair enough. And I've told them I'm not making any videos on it. I'm not promoting it. I will try it out. And if it's good, I will give an honest review. Well, I'll give an honest review either way. And again, we had quite a long meeting with them before Christmas. And said, I'll happily try it out. But I am going to be completely honest about it when I try it out. And they seemed confident enough to say, yeah, fine, take a team. Try it out. Tell everyone what you think. So that's what I'll do. The fact they were willing to proceed on that basis gives me hope that it might not be rubbish. I did warn them. I am a qualified financial advisor with a computer science degree. Don't try and bull poop me. I know how all of this works. Futium currently got a metaverse studio in association with them. Would you be keen to get on and speak about options about it? We have a Twitter handle of Meta Studios. I'd like to see what we're about. Tweet me and say all that again. I can't really commit to anything one way or another when I'm streaming, but yeah, send me a tweet. I'll have a look over the weekend and get back to you. They do seem to be getting a lot of advertising for people talking about it. Yeah, I mean, they're giving a lot of clubs away. Tom did a video on Futium saying he's not being paid to advertise, but in a free club. At least you're honest. I did. I mean, I'm sure Tom won't mind me saying I did talk to him after that and said you were paid to advertise that. You probably need to be a little bit clearer from now on. They gave you a free club. That is you. I mean, these clubs are worth thousands. So I'm told. I haven't looked. We will postpone a match, but my understanding is these clubs are worth a lot of money at the moment. So on that basis, he could sell the club now and pocket 4 figures. So I think it's cleared it up a little bit. Kev doesn't get paid by Rightmove. Gave him a free house though. But it's not an investment. It's just somewhere to keep my stuff. It's just somewhere for me to sleep. This has all got very high level for a Friday afternoon. I feel like we need to get back to talking about my bumhole. This has gone off the rails a little bit. We got too many grown-ups in. Is it not half term? That was an awkward moment to come back to. I swear you just sit there lurking, waiting for moments to pretend you're coming back. You always time it so perfectly. Yeah, it's definitely the work from home posse in today. These are the most fun streams. Can you explain what my graph from Twitter actually means? Right. Very quickly, the graph I put on Twitter, it was intended as a joke, but I was expecting some people to get in a mood with me about it and think I was actually trying to promote something. This is the graph that I put on Twitter earlier. This is my 5% of my portfolio that I invest in individual stocks. And what it shows is the index tracker, the FTSE All World ETF, over the last 3 months has lost 4% of its value. In that same time, my stocks that I've individually picked have lost 30% of their value. Look at how much I'm underperforming the market. This is why most of my money is in stuff like this. And I just I have 90% in normal stuff, 5% in crypto, 5% in individual stocks that I play with. You can see when everything was going well, I was beating the market for a while. But because of the types of business that I invest in, it's very tech heavy. And that whole sector has taken an absolute battering in the last 3 months. And yeah, I'm way underperforming the market at the moment. I'm not worried about that because they're stocks that have got huge growth potential. But at the moment, if I was a trader, I'd be panicking a little bit now. But luckily, any stock I buy with a view to holding it for the next 10 years. I'm not buying stuff because I think it'll be worth more next week. I'm buying it because I think it'll make me a lot of money over the next 5, 10, 20 years. Would I ever consider making a video for an intro to financial investment? That's the thing that I'm really toying with doing with the vlog channel. Doing something along the lines of finance, investing, entrepreneurship kind of stuff. But it's just finding the time to do it. At the moment, for the first time since I've been doing content creation, I've got a nice little work-life balance. I make my videos in the morning, I stream in the afternoon, I don't work weekends, I don't work evenings. I quite like that. For me to start doing anything on the other channel again, it's going to break that a little bit. Either I'm going to have to stream less or start doing weekends or evenings again. So at the moment, no, but never say never. Stop investing in MySpace. The one that really killed me was Zoom. Because, you know, start of the pandemic. Zoom, that's what you want. Zoom's going places. I think in the last 3 months, Zoom's down like 60%. It's still got long-term potential. I'm hoping someone buys it. Someone needs to buy Zoom. Microsoft should buy Zoom. They bought Skype. Buy Zoom. What's your opinion on GameStop saga? See, I don't get involved in stuff like that. I'm not interested in trading or meme stocks or any of that kind of stuff. I'm an investor, not a trader. Everyone uses Teams now. Yeah, Zoom probably was a bit of a miss. And there's a few that I missed with. A few that were very pandemic-y focused. I got a little bit too caught up in the short term. Trying to be clever. That's why only 5% of the portfolio goes on individual stocks. So I've got a bit of Zoom. I've got Fiverr. I think Fiverr's down quite a lot as well. Shopify, I think, is down quite heavily. There's a few things like that that were very pandemic-y that I've lost on recently. What I'm gathering is Kev wants another lockdown so his stocks go up. I mean, it would help with the stream views as well. So, you know. But no. Out there, buy Zoom after all the investment they've done to improve Teams. Zoom's better, but Teams is easier. Amazon, buy Zoom. Apple, buy Zoom. Somebody buy Zoom. Zoom's down 60% due to their shady personal data handling policies. Well, yeah. I also had some in Peloton as well. Not knowing that Sex and the City were going to kill the brand. As well as the pandemic closing out, so no one was buying Pelotons anymore. I thought that was a can't miss. It missed. You wouldn't sell even if it did get bought out. No, but if it was bought out by Amazon, that just increases my Amazon holding, for example. What did Sex and the City do? Whatever the new Sex and the City is called, I can't remember what it's called. One of the characters was on a Peloton and had a heart attack and died. And the Peloton stock price just fell through the floor. And just like that, yeah, that's what it's called. To the point where they hired him to be in an advert saying, look, I'm not dead. Peloton's great. It was a total mess. Amazon and Nike are rumored to be trying to buy Peloton. And Nike could be a great fit with Peloton. So fingers crossed. Kind of mental stuff like that, and Ronaldo drinking water affects stocks. Yeah, the stock market's nuts. If I followed it every day, I'd go mad. I wouldn't be able to cope with it. I check in on it like once every couple of months, really. I just put money in regularly, but try not to look at how much it's worth too often, because I don't think it's good for your brain. It's not good for your mental health to be constant. I wouldn't want to know, oh, today I'm up £2,000, but oh, now I've lost £5,000 or whatever it might be. I don't want to know those short-term swings. I'll just check in on it every couple of months and be like, right, is it roughly the same or maybe a little bit more than it was last time I checked? Bonus. That's why when I checked this morning and it was down 30%, I'm like, oh, joy. Oh, lovely stuff. By the way, this is a great football match. It is, it's going well. I mean, what we seem to find is when I'm not paying attention, we do really well. This has happened many times before. It's a nightmare for Chris to edit. But when I'm having a good old chinwag with you, or when we're having a chatty stream like we are today, the results take care of themselves. It's further proof that the Zealand system is the opposite of how you should play Football Manager. Pay as little attention as possible. Get a good squad and a good tactic. And then just let the matches take care of themselves and you'll be fine. It's Kev's route to Football Manager success. And it seems to be doing all right. How do you know when to sell? I don't really plan to sell. That's what I mean when I say I'm not a trader. I plan to just buy and keep them for a long time. And then when it gets to the point where I need money in the future, rather than watching each individual stock and decide and trying to work out when the best time to sell that stock is, it's more a case of keep investing until I need to take some money out. And then when I need to take some money out, which hopefully won't be until I retire, decide at that point what's the best one to sell at the time, rather than when do I sell this stock? I need some money now. What should I sell is the thought process I would be looking to do. We're becoming that team, boys and girls. It's a 7-point gap behind us now. Let's not start paying attention now. It could be disastrous. Have a bit more cheese. Lovely. How long am I streaming for? Cool, Dave heard the word cheese. He's up like a shot. We'll stream until just before 4 o'clock. Just before Non-League to Legend. You've not made it to Christmas yet. Don't get complacent. Yeah, but every previous year, this is how this league has taken shape. The team that gets in control stays in control. You play so many games in the early part of the season. If you look at how many games are played before and after Christmas, there's only, 15 games played after Christmas? Any traffic news? Other than the fact that we've had a couple of TNT trucks go past, no. Dave, rather than having more of my cheese, I'm going to give you a dog biscuit, if that's all the same with you. Dog biscuits for the dog. There you go. They don't smell as good as my cheese. And can you sit back down there, because you're blocking the pink light behind me. And I like people to think I'm cool and have a pink light. So do you want to go and sit back down? Or are you just going to stand there wagging your tail to really mess with the lighting? Posture check. There you go. When did the van move? 4:09. Like 10 minutes after the stream ended. Do you want to relive the moment? Or live the moment for the first time if you weren't here? Because of course we did capture the moment. You can see just how much trashy tweets I do. Here we go. This is the moment. So this was just after the stream the other day. Hold on, from the beginning. This is at 4:09 after the stream the other day. There he goes. I still miss him now. Off he pops. Look, there he goes. Bye. Very sad. How do you get out of this? Will he ever be back? Well, he came back today and delivered me a desktop. He was there for exactly 5 hours. Or 1 minute shy of 5 hours. Turned up at 11:10, left at 4:09. What could he possibly have been doing for 5 hours? What's this? No spirit can't be maintained. You're the head of youth development, Chris. Back off. Get him away from media duties. Okay, he's still the best man for the job. Fair enough. I'm not going to start doing them. Just don't downplay our awesomeness. Yeah, I think he was just watching the stream in there. That'd be amazing. Or do I phone TNT and it'll be moved soon? You don't know where it was. Let's see where the driver came from. No, because as soon as the stream ended, I stopped watching the camera. I was sat at my desk editing the video I'd recorded earlier in the day, and I heard the engine start and quickly went back onto the app and hit record. So, yeah, I don't know if he walked back to the van from a direction. Because it's over the road, it's outside of our person detection on the ring cam. So it didn't pick up him walking back to the van. So what we do know is he didn't come from this side of the road. So he was either in the van the whole time, which seems unlikely, or he walked to it from the other side of the road and never came over this side. Which is, I imagine, what happened. What it honestly would have been is a 5-hour break that's necessary by law for travelling. They usually find a quiet side road to have their rest at after a certain amount of time not driving. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. He's having a nap and getting paid for it. Yeah, what I hope hasn't happened is I hope he wasn't on the clock the whole time and I just got him fired. Because I thought about that night. If he was just skiving off work, having a sleep in the back of his van. But luckily, I checked. There was nothing to identify that van. You couldn't see the number plate in the video. I didn't disclose my location. So hopefully, all TNT know is one of their drivers was napping all day. If they ever found out about it. They won't be able to sack anyone. And the guy who delivered the desktop today seemed really cheerful. So it was the cheery demeanour of a man who's just got someone else's job. That's a very good goal. Because I got his mate sacked. Or he's not been sacked at all. This is a very good goal. I don't care for it. No one should be doing this to us. Where are Boston in the league? They're way down the league as well. Bold of you to assume they're mates. Surely everyone's friends with all their work colleagues, aren't they? Look at the state of those match stats and we're behind in this game. What is happening? We're going attacking. Most of mine are cretins. Oh, that's amazing. Why are we watching the match? We know not to watch it and we win. I know. Well, you lot got me distracted. As in, you're not distracting me as much as you were before. The interesting conversations of topic. The interesting topics of conversation went away. We got back to talking about the van again, and it's all I thought about all week. So fed up of the van and the desk. Gordon Bennett, they nearly did another wonder goal. Come on, let's have a breakaway goal here. It's 2-on-2. Come on. Do a football. He's taking that far too wide. The pace he's got, there was no reason for him to take it wide. Right. Who am I bringing on? Jeff Kane. Ugh. Beagles is in with bits. Give me more. Exactly. Thank you very much, Beagles. More. I will hydrate, but then I want more. Come on, look at the space we're in over here. There you go. We've used it. Whip the cross in. Why head it straight at the goalkeeper? We're supposed to be the best team in the league. I am going to drink this drink in a minute. Why have Boston got a hospital in the corner of the ground? Having driven past Boston's new ground, it doesn't have a hospital in the corner. This is rubbish. Oh, there's no one man in the Pims tent either. I assume that's a Pims tent in the corner. No over explanation. Football grounds have Pims tents, right? What's happened here? Nyos is injured. It's all going wrong. The wheels have come off. I told you we shouldn't get too complacent. It is Not's fault. I'm firing him. Come on. Football. Yickety split. Here we go. 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 No. There used to be a hospital near where the new ground is. Did there? Why did they get rid of a hospital? Or was that before the Glorious Pilgrim Hospital was there? What the hell is going on? Before Pilgrim. That's a long time ago. We're still top of the league. Oh, and now my butthole hurts. Fantastic. This is why I need my new desk. Standing up for a minute. Oh! Much better. Oh, Nos has hurt his calf. Oh. Why have we got an anus command? Who set that up? Oh dear me. Does it change depending on whether my butthole hurts or not? Oh, and the dance for every song's got a command as well now. This is what goes on when I'm not paying attention. Wild's all instantly grassy on Scott. Hilarious. Everyone knew it was him. Celebrating Boston winning. Dave, do you want my last cheese? You're a spoilt dog. Go. The cheese is all gone now. Scott's the only one who actually adds commands. He's the only one who read the How to Be a Mod guide. I don't know how to add commands directly on Twitch. I only know how to do it on Stream Elements. How many seasons do you think it would take to go from unemployment with no coaching badge, no playing experience, to becoming top of the Hall of Fame? Depends on luck. We did a save like that on Twitch in FM21. Started unemployed, ended up at Llanelli in Wales as the starting job. Then went to Clyde in Scotland. Got a job at Sheffield United in the Championship. Ended up winning the Champions League within like 3 or 4 years. So all in, it was probably 10 years start to finish. Going from unemployed with no badges to winning the Champions League. I wasn't top of the Hall of Fame, but we would have kept winning the Champions League. It's just boring content at that point. So then it's a case of how many do you have to win before you get to the top of the Champions League? Top of the Champions, top of the Hall of Fame, which is probably... So Alex Ferguson's got 17 domestic divisions. So yeah, it's probably another 10 to 15 years once you get there to get to the top of the Hall of Fame. You could probably do it in 20 years if you really, really were focused on doing it. There I am, look. 23 points for the Hall of Fame. But yeah, like we've shown in this save, sometimes you get the luck, sometimes you don't. Started FM20, unemployed, no badges, got a job with Ivory Coast in the first week. Is that strange? It is a bit strange. Are all domestic divisions equal? Or they're differently weighted depending on the reputation of them, I think. Dave, I've not got any more cheese. You've had it all. You can sit down again now. Goodness me. It's like you're acting like you don't get fed. Have a biscuit and then leave me alone. Go and sit down. Come on. Skedaddle. You're making me feel guilty and making me give you more biscuits. You know exactly what you're doing. You are a monster. Right. Football. Let's do a Conte. Yes, we'll do that. So Cheltenham, I think, are third in the league. So this is a big... Oh, Cheltenham bottom of the league. It might be bottom of the league, actually. They're bottom of the league. I don't know why I thought they were third. I immediately thought, no, they're not. They're bottom. So we should win this one comfortably. If we lose this as well, then we have a problem. Daniel, thank you very much for the sub. To celebrate, we've just got a free kick on the edge of the area that Goodwin's going to stick in the top corner. This one's for you, Daniel. Boom! Thank you, Daniel, for the 1-0 lead. Beautiful stuff. That's a good free. We've seen him do this so many times. That boy can hit a free kick. Tyler Goodrum, Leamington legend. How he's not on the favoured personnel list, I do not know. Subscriptions by goals. Apparently. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Lovely stuff. I've heard if we get to £1,000 on the charity donations today, we'll get automatic promotion. Just throwing that out there. We only need another £118-ish to get to the £1,000 mark. And then we're guaranteed automatic promotion. I don't make the rules. Dun, dun, dun. 21 love 20. I mean, I assume we're getting another goal here. If they, hey, with 21 love 21, you've just won us a penalty. It's amazing. Two subs, 2 goals in this match. What a wonderful thing. That's for the Norwich YouTube. Thank you very much. You just earned us a goal as well. How long can we keep this run going for? Subs equal goals. Absolute madness. Am I being weird today? I'm never weird. Where were the subs during the Boston match? Exactly. I can only assume somebody subbed to Dr. Ben during the Boston match, and that counted against me. The bits work. Let's see if bits work. Beagles has thrown some bits into the pot. Are we going to score a goal as part of this highlight? Because if bits work as well, it's revolutionary. Oh, my word. Bits work as well. Oh, what's happening? This is a wonderful thing. Daniel Green's just put £20 in the charity pot. Does charity work as well? I hope charity works. We're just watching replays. I hope charity works as well. Right. So next highlight. There's £20 gone in the charity pot. Oh, surely charity doesn't lead to us conceding goals. That goes against everything I'm hoping to achieve. Is charity bad for us? No, this might be the charity goal. It's still from the same highlight. Oh, charity leads to corners, apparently. Has your sub come through? Not yet. Although it does show you as subbed, so I imagine it's just Twitch being slow. You're not showing on the list currently, though. Actually, no, you are. 27 minutes ago. Did you do it a while ago? Thank you, Joe. I don't know if I said thank you at the time. I don't remember a notification, but you are there on the list. That's weird. Maybe it didn't... You know what? We're going to replay the notification. So I don't remember the notification happening. So there you go. George, thank you for the sub. Wow, who'd have thought? My team want me to have money and not charity. That's appalling. How's the autism diagnosis going for me? Really need to look down the same route. To be honest, it's not going anywhere at the moment. I've not pursued it since we moved house. I got through the first stages of it, went to the GP, got the referral, then the pandemic happened, and then we moved house, and now we're nearly 3 years later, and I've not pursued it anymore. So I might get back on it again at some point. I've kind of made peace with self-diagnosing now, having spoken to a lot of people when I've been doing speaking at events and stuff, and the deeper I get in the neurodiverse community on the internet, I'm more comfortable now than I was 3 years ago just saying, yeah, I'm autistic. I'm not formally diagnosed, but I am. I'll get a diagnosis one day maybe, but I'm pretty comfortable going down the self-diagnosis route. I think it's valid. Bearing in mind how difficult it is to get an actual diagnosis in this country. Certainly as an adult who doesn't need any support. Because that's the question they always ask when you go for diagnosis. Why do you want one? What are you hoping to get out of it? And all I ever wanted was to understand, to get some explanation, to be able to put some things in context. I didn't need anything. And I think that just slows the process down massively. So I'm pretty comfortable self-diagnosing these days. The more I've learned about it. Bad my donations and helps with the clean sheet. Use my real name in the donation. Excellent. Took me 3 years on a waiting list to get my assessment for adult autism. Yeah, exactly. And I've got to restart the process again at some point because I'm in a different local authority now. My girlfriend's convinced I am, said I should get checked. No need. Just don't hug me. Yeah. That's the thing, because Anna knows how to be around autistic people because of Andy. She's much more open, I think, to me just being able to tell her my quirks and her working around them than she would be if she didn't understand. So I think that helps with me not actually needing a formal diagnosis. I don't need to explain to her what my needs are. I can just say, yeah, I don't like going to the shops when it's really busy. And if we do that, I'm going to need to go and sit in the bedroom on my own for an hour when we get back, because I find it quite... I don't even know how to put it into words. Just shops. Don't like it. too loud, too bright, too many people, and just little things. Overwhelming might be the right word, yeah. But like I've said on every panel I've done about this at Comic-Con and stuff, for me, I think there's much more positive than there is negative. I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I've achieved without my brain working the way it does, because I've been able to be hyper focused and obsessive about the stuff I needed to be hyper focused and obsessive about. You'll notice I very rarely miss a day when it comes to a video, because the idea of missing a day it makes me feel a bit sick, to be honest. But that kind of obsessiveness is actually quite helpful. Tesco's I shop in does an hour of quiet time on Wednesday nights. I know Morrison's do one on Saturday mornings, which is cool. Why rock and roll? Thank you for the sub. Makes absolutely no difference if you're autistic or not. It doesn't make you a worse person. You just do things differently. Oh yeah, completely agree. And I've had this conversation with the doctor. It's not like I need support. I don't need a carer. I don't need special arrangements being made for things. I've learned to work around how my brain works and use it to my advantage. So I'd just be interested in getting the diagnosis, or because the one thing that's at the back of my mind is it autism, is it ADHD, is it both, is it neither, is it something else? I'd love someone who's an actual expert to root around in my brain and tell me exactly how it's different. At the moment I just know it is different. When you do miss a video, you explain things out, which is great to see. We just won a penalty. What's gone on here? That was weird. This is the FA Cup, boys and girls. What a name. Matthew Dickico is the name of the referee. Very nice. My diagnosis was more to be able to put an actual name on it. Yeah, that would be nice, but it's not really life-changing, I guess, from my perspective. So it's not the highest priority. Like, for me, when I'm pursuing health stuff at the moment, I need to get the sleep apnea sorted. That's top priority. I need to continue working on getting my blood pressure properly controlled. There's several health things that come ahead of it, and I don't want to spend all my life in the doctors, so because it's quite low down the list of priorities, I'm just not dealing with it at the moment, just leaving it there. But I'm very lucky that I've been able to build my own lifestyle around what I want to do. I think if someone's just said working at Amazon, they didn't make a lot of accommodation and stuff. And yeah, if I was working in a job that I didn't really want to be working in, and there were parts of that job that made things worse, then it would be more important for me to get a diagnosis and get support and accommodation made, I guess. But I've been able to build a lifestyle that suits my brain, so I don't think it would make much of a difference. Did we just get another sub and another goal? Oh my word, we did. We've had 2 subs in. Why Rock and Roll and Carlito, and we scored 2 goals. Thank you very much to both of you. This is ridiculous what's happening here. We're only £83 away from automatic promotion now on the charity thing. I did zoom out because I had my hand on the mouse and I was just... Whoa! We're flying! Let go of the balloons! Oh, that's much better. These are the things I amuse myself with when I'm not streaming. I need to get a life. We're going through it with my 3 kids at the moment. 2 have been diagnosed. 1 with ADHD, waiting ASD, the other ASD. Go through it with the first, such a long... Oh, yeah, it is a long process. I never went through it with Andy. Andy was already diagnosed before I met Anna. But Amy's going through an ADHD diagnosis at the moment. And it is a long, long process. Same voice as the bin men. What a maneuver. I was just excited. The bin men are very exciting to me. That's such an easy goal. I don't know what league Evesham are in. I'm pretty sure they're not in our league. Even if they're in the same division, they're not in our league. We're showing that today. I mean, look at the state of those match stats. Let's do a football. Exactly. Oh, we've lost Kareem Linton. This is the 4th qualifying round. So, still a little way away from potential big money stuff, but we are hitting the first round proper, which is always nice. Oh, we are just ruining them. It reminds me of when we used to be part-time playing against full-time teams. We just seem to be bigger, faster, stronger, more handsome. I can tell that from here. Oh, boys and girls, I've just had a delightful thought. How many I've only had 2 coffees today, I think. We're going to Northampton later, and there's now a Tim Hortons in Northampton. Very exciting. Going to Tim Hortons. What time did Tim Hortons in Northampton close? Someone Google it for me. I need to know. We're going to be in Northampton about 6 p.m. Oh, don't tell me 5 o'clock, Chris. As a Canadian, Tim Hortons is mediocre. As an Englishman, Tim Hortons is pretty sweet. And we don't have many in the UK. This is my new nearest one. My nearest one was previously Birmingham, but now there's one in Northampton. Tried it recently and wasn't that impressed. I've got my big Tim Hortons mug somewhere. Have a donut and a coffee. Beautiful. How often do I go to Peterborough games? 8 to 10 times a season, probably. Not as often as I could, I guess, but I'm very much a fair weather fan. If my bum hole hurts or if it's raining, especially now I live further away, I'm like, and it's not even that far. I'm like 50 minutes away from the ground now, whereas before I was 20 minutes away. So it's just a little bit further. Isn't there one in Leicester? I don't go into Leicester very often. There might be one in Leicester. Riverside Retail Park. I think that's the one that we drive past. Yeah, it must be, because the place we're going to is Riverside Hub. So it must be the same place. Well, then I look forward to a Tim Hortons donut and coffee. Got to pick up my new sunglasses on the way. Oh, it's all coming together. Leicester one opened a couple of years ago. Well, that shows you how often I go into Leicester. Leicester's been my nearest city for a year and a half. I think since we've been here, we've been there once. Because we wanted to go to the Treetop Golf. I think that's the only time we've been into Leicester. Otherwise, I'm still drawn back towards Peterborough. Or Rushton Lakes is our place. That's where we go. If we need to go to town, we go to Rushton. How popular Tim Hortons is in Canada. There are over 4,300 locations. More Tim Hortons than McDonald's. Wowzers. Imagine the rest of the desk arriving while I'm out. It almost certainly will. I'm going to be so confused in a few months when I've got Tim Hortons Northampton in my Google autofill. Yeah. But now you've helped me out. Love Rushton Lakes was down that way yesterday. How did my mum move? You should have dropped in and said hello, Chris. You could have had some shredded wheat. You could have come in for a bowl of shredded wheat. What were you thinking? Don't actually know where you live, and that's how it will remain. Nosy Chris. Nosy old Chris. That is a lovely result today. You still take Andy to Nottingham to go on the trams? We have a couple of times. They're not even our nearest trams anymore. We're much closer to Birmingham now than we are to Nottingham. So, I mean, if anyone's there with a map, you can really triangulate in on my house with all this information you're getting. Yeah, we've taken him to Birmingham. I'm trying to convince him Birmingham's better. He likes the tram from Birmingham city centre out to Wolverhampton, but that's closed currently. It was closed the last time I was there. Is there any Tim Hortons not in the Midlands? I'm not sure, to be honest. I've never seen one in London, I don't think. The trams in Birmingham are closed. I was in Bromley last week. Yikes. We won't be going there anytime soon. I had Five Guys for the first time in Rushden, apart from screwing up my order. It was awesome. They screwed up my order the last time I was there. I think the one in Rushden is just a bit iffy. I ordered a bacon cheeseburger and got a BLT. So there was no burgers in it. It was just, as you would imagine from a BLT, bacon, lettuce and tomato. I was 3 mouthfuls in before I realised there was no burger in it. And then I was too British to go and complain. So I paid for a double bacon cheeseburger and basically had a bacon roll. Five Guys is overrated. Oh, Five Guys is amazing. The Cajun fries in particular are amazing. Yeah, we've still got Theodros. He's on the pitch now, in fact. Number 28. Where is he? That's him there with his little mullet. Five Guys is so expensive. See, we've had this discussion before. I don't think it is for what it is. If you compare it to McDonald's, it is. But if you compare it to Nando's, it's not. And it's better than both. Try not to think of it as an alternative to McDonald's or Burger King or KFC. It's up a tier from that. It's an alternative to TGI Fridays or Nando's or Wagamama. And compared to them, it's reasonably priced. You go in there, it costs about 15 quid for a meal. That's how much you'd pay for a meal in Nando's, isn't it? I've not been to Nando's for years. I'm not a massive fan. But 15 quid for burger, chips and a big refillable drink seems about right. Five Guys is elite and I'll hear no stand it. Agreed. Five Guys is decent, but I can't justify having it all the time. I mean, I don't think anyone should justify having greasy bacon cheeseburgers all the time. I'd like to think you're not having McDonald's all the time either. I mean, Rushden Lakes is a great place where you've got all of these chain places next to each other and they're all about the same price. I don't think there's a McDonald's there, but you've got TGI Fridays and Wagamamas and Nando's and Bill's and Pizza Express and Five Guys, and they're all roughly the same sort of price. They're all those mid-tier places where you're looking at about £15 per head for a meal and a drink, and it fits in perfectly with that selection. Doesn't feel overpriced there. Whereas if you're on the high street and you've got McDonald's, Five Guys, Burger King, KFC, it's going to seem really expensive because it's more expensive than them, but it's not really comparable to them. How do you spell Theodros? Where is he? Why can't I find him? Like that. There he is, look. Worked out why I think Tim Hortons only in the Midlands. I live in Portsmouth and the closest one that's open is actually in Birmingham. One in Braintree and MK opening soon though. It's weird that they've started from the middle and branched out. I know when they opened in Birmingham 5 years ago, I was there that weekend and there was a queue around the block. I was like, what the hell is the fuss about? And I didn't go that day. But, oh, there's definitely some outside of the Midlands because there's one in Salford. Because that's where I got my mug from. That was the first one we went to. And it was great. I want a proper East London pie and mash shop in Peterborough. a good. I mean, Pie Minister's a chain that's a. I don't think there's one in Peterborough. I know there's one in Nottingham. It's not a proper East London pie and mash shop, but it does the Kevin. What more could you want from a pie? We have a Tim Hortons in Motherwell in Scotland. There we go. So it's just not. So they've started from the top and worked down by the sounds of it. I remember the Taco Bell opening up down south and the queue was around the corner, a bit daft. I think there was a point where the Taco Bell in Nottingham was the only one in England. I know there's quite a few more now. We had it once and we're not impressed at all. If that's representative of what Taco Bell's like in America, it's trash food. Is it the McDonald's of sort of, not really, but a bit Mexican food? Because you're not telling me that's Mexican food. It was very much gave me the McDonald's feeling. Basically, Chipotle is way better. There's one of those in London now. There's also a Popeyes that's open, should be open now in Stratford. I'm looking forward to trying Popeyes. There's a Popeyes and a Wendy's in Stratford. And a Shake Shack. It's got all the American places. Chipotle is not comparable. It's like comparing McDonald's to Five Guys. Makes sense. Wendy's in Nottingham closed down. Devastating. How does the UK have Shake Shack but Canada doesn't? I think it's only London. I've never seen a Shake Shack outside of London. There's like 3 across London that I've seen. I've never seen Shake Shack outside of London though. But I mean, Shake Shack is right up there with Five Guys burgers. Shake Shack burgers are amazing. Wendy's just opening Croydon if you ever venture south of the river. I rarely venture south of the river. Apart, I guess, from when I'm staying on the Greenwich Peninsula. And then I'm still within spitting distance of said river. That's as far south of it as I go. There's a Shake Shack in Liverpool. There you go. I know there's a Dunkin' Donuts in Nottingham now, which blew my mind. I've never seen Dunkin' in the UK before. There's a Shake Shack in Leicester. I really need to... Leicester is literally down the road. I need to go to Leicester a bit more often. I still need to try that chicken place. The one with... still can't remember what it's called. We talked about it on stream the other week. Ah, what have I done? Why have I done that? The chicken place, that's the Asian chicken place thing. What's it called? Chicken. Leicester. Asian. Jollibee. I still need to try Jollibee. I know there's one of these in Leicester now. But this looks amazing because they do. I need to convince Anna we're going to Leicester tonight, not Northampton, unless there's one of these in Northampton. Should we look at the delivery menu? Don't put my location on screen. They do. Spaghetti bolognese, I think. There's a chicken place that does spaghetti bolognese, and that fascinates me. Yeah, there we go. On their classics, you can just get a bowl of spaghetti. But it's a chicken place. Why are you doing spaghetti? What are you doing? Madness. I have that for lunch in Leicester. It's nice. I need to try it. Apparently it's better than KFC. I think I know the Dunkin' in Nottingham Curve used to be a car for motors. I think so. It's on a corner, sort of behind where Trent University is. Behind that main, I don't really know the locations in Nottingham. I just know how to drive from one to the next. But it's that kind of area. Nothing's better than KFC. Apparently Jollibee is. Right. Let's go win another football match. Apparently Popeyes is, which is now open in London. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying Popeyes when I'm down there. I've already told Anna, when we're down for Comic-Con in May, first stop on the Friday lunchtime, before we even get to Comic-Con, we're going to get down there, get checked into the hotel, and we're going to Popeyes. We're having Popeyes for lunch. Cannot wait to try Popeyes. The only problem is if you've ever been to Westfield in Stratford, there's 2 food halls. There's the nice food hall, which is upstairs, and there's the skanky, horrible food hall, which is downstairs. And Popeyes is in the horrible one. So I've got to set foot in the sticky, floored, dirty food hall. But then I'll take it upstairs and eat it in the nice food hall. Because I'm fancy. The underclass food hall, I call it. Do you know why some players' star ratings go down even though their stats are increasing? Because it's based on form and reputation and how they compare to the rest of the squad. So if you've got a 5-star player and then you sign Cristiano Ronaldo for Watford, your previous 5-star player is now only going to be a 3-star player, for example, because they're now comparing him to the best player at the club. But also his attributes could be increasing. But if he's in terrible form also weighs into the star rating, so star rating could go down. So star rating is not an absolute, it's just like an indication of how they compare to the rest of the squad based on ability and form and reputation. I look down and I'm eating my burrito. Absolutely. Oh, the burrito place in Westfield in Stratford's great. The first year I took Amy down to Summer in the City, it was not long after I'd gone self-employed and we were properly skint, and just said to the girls, look, we're here, but I could only afford like £5 each for dinner because I've just quit my job. So the only place we could afford was McDonald's or burritos. And we went to get a burrito from this burrito place and it was so nice. Best burrito I've ever had. There's a really nice pub in Stratford called The Sportsman. Is that the one outside at Westfield near where Game is? Best part of Stratford is my stepmom's oxtail rice and peas with barbecue chips. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Trying to remember the name of the burrito chain. I don't know the name of the burrito chain. Opinion on the Zoomer situation and people who say the backlash is racist. I've not actually seen anyone say the backlash is racist. I don't pay that much attention. Obviously, if you beat up an animal, you're a scumbag. So he's a scumbag. Easy. Who performed when I went to Summer in the City? No idea. I don't go to any of those bits. We're just there for the YouTube schmoozing. My uni town had a burrito place that had El Gordo on the menu, which weighed a kilo. Nice. Tap East in Westfield is a great pub. They make their own. The hotel we usually stay in for Comic-Con is the Premier Inn next door to Tap East. with the playground outside, just outside Stratford International Station. And it's got the big fish playground thing just outside. Yeah, we've stayed in that hotel dozens of times probably. Antonio said it was racist because people don't have the same outrage for racism, according to him. I'd like to think people do. Maybe, I don't know. I would consider them both scummy things to do. I don't want to get into a whole political discussion. I would be interested in seeing some examples of racism that has been widely publicised in the way this was, that people have gone, yeah, but that's okay. I don't think that's happening. I think, oh, what a goal that is. What a goal. Not sure if people are saying it's racist, more the punishment it's been given and the public outcry is firmer than players and fans who've been racist. Well, if that's the case, that needs dealing with. I don't really know. That's his point. It's got more widespread than an act of racism has. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. I would have to look into it more. I think he's referring to the Suarez Everett versus Everett incident. That was massively publicised. I don't know what the punishments either anyone's got in these situations are. I don't know what Zuma's punishment has been, so I don't know how it compares. No, I agree. Hurt an animal, scum. Completely agree. If you're racist, you're scum. It applies to both equally, as far as I'm concerned. You're homophobic, you're scum. Basically, if you're being scummy, you're scum. I don't think we need to have a willy waving contest to decide which scummy thing is more scummy than the other scummy things. They can all just be scummy. Let's make it binary. It's either scummy or not scummy. All those things are scummy. You don't need to argue about what's more scummy. I don't want to miss the promotion. Do you know if he'll be streaming on Monday? It's really difficult to say because it completely depends on my desk situation, which is completely up in the air. In fact, scratch that. Definitely not streaming on Monday. That's when Andy's new social workers come in. The rest of the week is completely up in the air. I'll be streaming every day that I'm not assembling a new desk. So most days I'll be streaming, but definitely not Monday. Zuma's punishment was a 250k fine, animals rehomed, etc. Suarez racism fine was only 40k. How long ago was it though? And would that punishment be the same now? I don't know. There's so much that goes into it, isn't there? I don't think it necessarily needs comparing. But then, like I say, I don't know enough about it. Fine for Zuma is the standard 2 weeks' wages. I think the difference in fines punishment was affected more by the time frame in which it happened as opposed to what actually happened. If the Suarez situation happened now, the backlash and punishment would definitely be more severe. I think that's probably true. Zuma's been fined the maximum amount by West Ham, with the money going to animal charities, and further punishments may follow, subject to investigation by the RSPCA. That seems reasonable to me. The save is hard. 2029 instead of Vanarama. You're telling me this save is hard. Although this is the best we've been so far. Not even halfway through the season, already 52 points on the board. It's worrying that Aldershot are right there with us. But we have got a game in hand. So at the moment, we are on course for 100 plus points. Which apparently, these days, is what you need to get out of this division. Which is absurd. 108 points last year. 106 points the year before. 98 the year before that. So you need to be aiming for 100 plus points, and we're on course. Why are footballers being complete wangs these days? I would argue they've probably always been complete wangs, but now we just know about it. I would suggest that Zuma isn't the first footballer to smack his cat around the head and throw it across the kitchen floor. It's just the first one you've seen on a TikTok. How long does one season take to stream? Usually 3 streams probably for a season. So that's 9 or 10 hours. You might be the first that was dumb enough to share a video of it though. Yeah. Was it him who shared the video, or It looked like someone else was filming it. If he's shared that himself, he really is thick. Not just scummy, but really thick. His brother did it. Okay. But even so, his brother's thick then. I mean, really. I filmed it. His brother plays for Dagenham, and they've said he won't play for them. Fair enough. We believe it. Don't be a wang and move on. I think that's fair. I think that's a sensible course of action. We know the rules. Don't be a wang. We don't need to keep saying that in different ways. Right, who are we playing? Chester, one of our old enemies from the home series. Swap these two rascals around again. Sort the bench out, which always seems to need sorting out. But let's go do another football. Where are Chester in the league then? Didn't even get to see. What team do I support? The mighty Peterborough United. Which, and I am quoting an actual song here, we are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. I've heard it sung many times, so pretty indisputable. I've heard literally hundreds of people sing that at the same time. That's a lovely pass, and Hughes is so fast. What's my go-to food and drink at a football match? I tend not to have any food and drink at the football because I am tight and don't like to, believe it or not, looking around my office with all my silly toys in here. I do try to avoid wasting money, so I tend to just not. I'm only there for a couple of hours. It's the middle of the afternoon. I wouldn't be eating otherwise. I mean, sometimes I'll perhaps get a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. If it's hot, I'll get a bottle of water. If it's really cold or maybe an evening match, I've got to stay awake, I'll perhaps get a cup of coffee. But usually my dad brings a flask. So I usually get a cup of coffee out. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen my dad having to drink coffee out of a Tupperware that had sausage rolls in because he forgot to bring cups. He brought a flask. He brought some sausage rolls for us, which was very nice. But didn't bring any cups, so he had to drink his coffee out of the Tupperware. But yeah, my dad will sometimes bring stuff like that. That's not an every match thing. He does have a bit of a tradition. If we're ever in the playoffs, he makes a playoff pasty, which is a Cornish pasty where he spells out posh in pastry on it. We've had playoff pasties a number of times over the years. But yeah, normally I don't get anything. You can bring drinks into the stadium. My dad's 66 years old. They ain't going to stop him bringing a flask in. They probably wouldn't let me bring a flask in. But they're going to let an old man carry a flask into the ground. Especially because we're lower league. Again, you perhaps wouldn't get away with it in the Premier League, but we've spent most of our football supporting lives in equivalents of League One and League Two. I don't mind you bringing in a flask in League One. Oh, wise FM King, ruler of the showdown. I have a question. What should I look for when choosing an affiliate club? Bank balance, youth facility. See, I don't really use affiliate clubs, but if I were to use an affiliate club, assuming you mean, are you talking about a senior affiliate or like a feeder club? If I were looking for a feeder club, I would want the one with the best youth facilities. and training facilities and whatnot. And if I was looking for a parent club, which I never, ever, ever do, I'd probably just have a look through their current youth teams and see who's got the best players. I don't know. Who do I want to take on loan? How often can you change these things? Can you just pick it according to who's got good players at the time and change it every few years? On the way home from college, football games, we passed McDonald's and a Burger King on the way home. If we won, we got a victory at McDonald's. If we lost, lose a Burger King. See, I can't get on board with that because I prefer Burger King to McDonald's. That's a lovely goal. What are my thoughts on Wetherspoons? Sticky floors is the first thing I think of. I've not been in a Wetherspoons for years. As a non-drinker, I don't really... And even when before I stopped drinking, I didn't really go to pubs. I'm not really a pub kind of guy, so don't really have a view. Wetherspoons, the only time I ever go near a Wetherspoons now is for a cheap breakfast. If there's no McDonald's nearby, or if it's like 11, half 11 and McDonald's breakfast is done, but I still want a cooked breakfast, you can usually get a cheap one in Wetherspoons with a coffee refill. That's the only time I'd be in there. I got Tottenham when I hit League One. Had some great loans for free and they gave me 111k every year. Well, there you go. Seems pretty good to me. If I ever needed to have a meal around football time, there's a KFC across the road from Posh's ground, so KFC would be the food of choice if I had to have a meal. I've probably only done that 5 times in my life, but yeah, KFC would be if I need proper food. There was one time, and I got some odd looks this day, there was one time when I bought a KFC on the way in and just took it up and ate it in my seat. Everyone around me was quite jealous, but that's the joys of the lower leagues. You can buy a KFC and just take it in with you. I'm a non-drinker also. I've been to 63 out of 859. Is that how many Wetherspoons there are? I've probably been to 5. There's one in Peterborough that's near where we do our podcast live shows that we go to the Sunday morning after a podcast live event. And then there's a few in London that we've been to when we've been down there for things. And that's probably about it. Mate, I think we've been to one in Nottingham as well. Is the food at the ground at Posh any good? I don't know. I don't get it. No idea. I don't even know what they do. Presumably it's just your standard pies and hot dogs and that kind of thing. It's just so expensive. I walk past it on the way in and it's like £2 for a bag of Walker's crisps. And I don't know what these people are... there's always a queue as well. I don't get it. It's baffling. All the kerfuffle about ticket prices in the last couple of days at Posh. Just don't spend 10 quid on a beer and a pie on the way in. I don't understand. The match starts at 3 o'clock. Have lunch before you go. Have dinner when you get home. Are you normally having a pie at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I don't understand. I get very confused. Never eat football, I always eat after. Yes, I'm always 3 p.m. pie. Well, then it makes sense for you. It's always pie o'clock. Just Bovril. I've not had Bovril for years. I think I like Bovril. It's basically just like gravy, isn't it? I know there was one time as a kid, that's a problem. Jeff Kane's got a broken foot and he's out until like Easter. That is a problem. Because he is quite an important player for us. Yeah, there was one time when we were kids. I don't even know why this happened. but I'm pretty sure it only happened once. I think it was around Christmas time. My mum made tiny little individual toad in the holes with little chipolata sausages. So we had a little bag of like 3 of them and a flask of Bovril, and we basically had little toad in the holes with Bovril to dip it into like gravy. That was the best football food I've ever had. I'm sure we only did it once, but it was amazing. That should just be a thing that is sold places. If they did that on a drive-through at any place, that would be my new go-to place to go and get drive-through food. Right. What's the time? We've probably got time for maybe 2 more matches, possibly only 1. We'll see how we get on. We do need to be wrapped up by 4 o'clock because you've got a transfer special today on Non-Need to Legend. And without offering any kind of spoiler, I will warn you. I will warn you that I try to be clever in this transfer window. I tried to be clever. What have I done? What have I done? You'll find out. You'll find out at 4 o'clock. I feel like I'm going to get some stick in the comments today. And that's all I'm telling you now. How long is the episode? Hold on. I can tell you that, I suppose. There's no worry in telling you that. It is 42 minutes. Deserved stick. I think there'll be discussion. Bum, bum, bum. I'm not telling you anything else. It is unmissable though. This is a nice piece of football. It does give me pleasure to see Doncaster down in non-league, because for whatever reason Doncaster fans seem to not like Posh. So it is nice to see Doncaster at a level befitting how mean they are about my beloved Peterborough. Looks like FM's decided you're too good for this league now. Finally. Bonning's only an hour or so up the East Coast Main Line. Yeah, but they must have some proper rivals. I mean, my favourite thing to tell Doncaster fans and people from Doncaster in general, they can call themselves Yorkshire as much as they like. Everyone knows they're basically in Lincolnshire. The rest of Yorkshire is like, nah, you're Lincolnshire. And that always upsets them. We got any Doncaster fans in? Any Lincolnshire folk? Why have a Donny lad? Sobs quietly. Oh. Think of Donny as its own separate place, a principality no one wants. Oh, bless him. They're going to beat me now. Now I've Lincolnshired them. That's links, folks. Don't want them. No. I mean, I lived most of my life in Lincolnshire. I agree. Did I actually go to Gainsborough when I started On This Legend with him? I didn't go to Gainsborough then. I have been to Gainsborough for a podcast. There's a video somewhere on YouTube of me and Sheepdog trying to break into Gainsborough's ground. Where even is Doncaster? Basically, North Lincolnshire. It's not a million miles from Scunthorpe. If you look at it on a map, it is difficult to work out how it's classed as Yorkshire. It's not North Lincolnshire. I live here. Oh, dear. We're going to have to get a map out. Hold on. Map o'clock, everybody. You've asked for this. We need to go on to an incognito so I don't dox myself again. Right, Doncaster. See, that's Lincolnshire. That's Lincolnshire. These are Notts, I think. But then this is Yorkshire. It's just kind of weirdly... Is Goole Lincolnshire? I need the counties on this map, really. See, Sheffield's further south than it's right. Chesterfield's Yorkshire, isn't it? But then Mansfield's Nottinghamshire, so the border's there-ish. I think Worksop is Nottinghamshire as well, so I think the border kind of goes up here. And Nottinghamshire kind of goes maybe as far as the A1, and it sort of becomes Lincolnshire. But then Lincolnshire goes up around here as well. I think. Chesterfield's Derbyshire, is it? Okay. Gould's Yorkshire. Okay. But Scunthorpe's Lincolnshire, isn't it? Type Lincolnshire and the borders will appear. How do you like know more about Google Maps than me? Lincolnshire. Oh, that's amazing. That's exactly what we need. See? That feels like it's basically Lincolnshire. I thought Scunthorpe was Lincolnshire. So what's this? Is this isn't Yorkshire, is it? Is Humberside a county? Is that what that is? I thought Grimsby was Lincolnshire as well. Oh, North Links is a separate county, is it? So North Lincolnshire. Okay, so there you go. You've got North Lincolnshire, that Scunthorpe is, and look how close it is to Doncaster. So apparently North Lincolnshire is a separate county. Grimsby's also not in North Lincolnshire, apparently. But if all this is North Lincolnshire, it's definitely Lincolnshire. It's like saying Watford is London. Watford is in London. It's got a tube station. That makes it London. To everyone outside of London, having a tube station means you're in London. It's only Londoners who are protective who make that distinction. If you've got a tube station, you are absolutely in London. North Lincolnshire is technically Lincolnshire. Is it inside the M25? Then it's done. Well, Watford's just outside the M25, isn't it? But it does have a tube station. Grimsby has a Doncaster postcode. Well, Skegness has a Peterborough postcode. Which is bonkers, because Skegness is miles away. Watford's basically the start of the north. See, that's a butchering of the Watford Gap Services being the start of the north. I think that's a generational thing. It was originally Watford Gap Services is where the north-south boundary is. And that makes sense because the Watford Gap Services are about Birmingham level. But I think there's a generation of people who then don't know Watford Gap exists who turned it into Watford. And Watford makes no sense. Watford's inside the M25, is it? Interesting. I thought it was outside. Newark being a Notts postcode is bizarre to me, but Newark, I would class Newark as basically part of Nottingham almost. But then I guess Newark's Lincolnshire, is it? I know Grantham's a Nottingham postcode. But then Sleaford, which is near Grantham, is a Peterborough postcode. Very passionate about what the north and south is. Anything above the tube map is the north. It's not there, is it? You ever been to Stevenage? They all talk like Cockneys. You're not going to convince someone in Stevenage they live in the north. But yeah, where's Watford? The Watford Gap Services. This is how it's. And I think this is probably fair. There you go. There's your Watford Gap Services, which are north of Northampton. So that's where you draw the line. So Coventry's in the north, but Northampton's in the south. That makes a lot more sense than Watford, which is all the way down here. You're not going to tell me St Albans is in the north. It's madness. St Albans is as north as you get. Yeah. This is always my favourite conversation to have on stream because everyone gets so excited by it. So I learned Watford Gap isn't actually Watford. There you go. That's what I mean. It's that's why it's odd the way it got butchered from Watford Gap to Watford over the years when they're not actually the same place. Personally, below Birmingham is south, but Birmingham is north. And people of Birmingham love being called from the north. They'll try and convince you this magical place called the Midlands exists. But inexplicably, Nottingham's not part of it. There's the Midlands, and the East Midlands is over there. But we're the Midlands. And darts still isn't a sport. Absolutely. England is just like New Jersey, no central region. Unless you live in the middle, and then you claim there is. I live in the middle. And nobody from the north is going to accept me as a northerner. And nobody from the south would accept me as a southerner. My accent doesn't fit either of them. As someone from the Midlands, I don't really feel northern or southern, just some geographical limbo. I think I relate more to the people of the south because I'm more likely to travel south than north. But there's no way they'd accept me as a southerner. Boys and girls, we're going to end the stream there because it's FA Cup first round day, which, as every lower league football fan knows, is the best day in football each year. None of this third round nonsense that the big clubs will have you believe. Our favourite day in football is the FA Cup first round, because that's when you get the really little non-league clubs. There's not a huge number of them this year, but they are fun. We love the little non-league clubs playing against Football League sides. So we'll save that for the next stream. But the league is going really rather well. I mean, look at that. That is what I'm talking about. We're going up as champions, boys and girls. Huzzah! But for now, you need to go and brace yourself for a non-league to legend transfer. Someone's just said you sound like a Londoner. So you're from the north then. Because obviously I don't. Oh dear. For a start, I say grass rather than grass. They wouldn't have me saying grass down that way. Londoners couldn't cope. Yeah, we will be back sometime next week. I can't know for sure. I know it won't be Monday. It might be Tuesday. It really depends on when the new desk comes. Just keep an eye on my Twitter. It's probably the easiest thing to do. I'll try and keep the schedule up to date here on Twitch as well, but yeah, it's difficult. But when we do come back, we will have the FA Cup first round. We're going to win the title. Everyone's going to be happy. We're going to be in the Football League. 5 years' time, we're champions of the world. That's the plan. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. Enjoy Non-League to Legend and don't be too mean to me in the comments. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Toodle pip. Bye-bye. What is that wave? Like a naked puppet. Ah, that's the wrong one. They saw my face. They saw me take my shirt off after the stream. Ah.